Hello and welcome everyone, I'm Blue Banana and this is Kingdome Come Deliverance beta version. In case you don't know what Kingdome Come Deliverance is, well, it is a realistic medieval RPG set in Bohemia, which is part of today's Czech Republic. The game is set in 1403 and it draws its inspiration or follows historical events that have taken place at that time and that place. So, without further ado, I think the opening cutscene explains it way better than I can, and it also looks fantastic. So, without further ado, have fun watching the opening cutscene.
Charles IV, King of Bohemia and Holy Roman Emperor, had a long and successful reign. The empire he ruled from Prague expanded, and his subjects lived in peace and prosperity. When the emperor died, the whole empire mourned. More than 7,000 people accompanied him on his last procession. The heir to the throne of the flourishing empire was Charles's son, Wenceslas IV, whose father had prepared him for this moment all his life. But Wenceslas did not take after his father. He neglected affairs of state for more frivolous pursuits. He even failed to turn up for his own coronation as emperor, which did little to endear him to the Pope. Wenceslas the Idle did not impress the imperial nobility either. His difficulties mounted until the nobles, exasperated by the inaction of their ruler, turned for help to his half-brother, King Sigismund of Hungary. Sigismund decided on a radical solution. He kidnapped the king to force him to abdicate, then took advantage of the ensuing disorder to gain greater power for himself. He invaded Bohemia with a massive army and began pillaging the territories of the king's allies. It is here that my story begins. Before it all began, we lived a peaceful life. My father was a blacksmith, and I would one day take over his trade. Unfortunately, the town where we lived was where the king's silver was mined. And that was exactly what Sigismund was after. That, and to show what would happen to anyone who dared to oppose him. And that day I lost everything. Family, home, honor. The time has come to take it all back.
Alright, after this really nice introduction to the game, to, set the mood, we are here at the new main screen of the game. As you can see, I have been playing for about half an hour, maybe, to make sure everybody's working fine, and to know, my way around a bit. Anyways, we are going to start a new game, because that's just what we do. When you start a new game, you can choose your past, because the beta begins midway through the actual game, so you can basically choose what you basically would have done in the first stage of the game. So, jack of all trades, talk is good, but sometimes the sword talks louder than words. Standard thing, you approach, the midway through it. Sometimes you punch people in the face when they don't give you what you want, but usually you talk. That's more the stealthy approach. Silver tongue and stealth are the preferred way of dealing with the hostile world. Not really my preferred way to deal with a hostile world. I'm more of the squire type guy, with strong arm and sharp sword are the best means of solving any problem. So there will be another short introduction,
After the kidnapping of the king, chaos and turmoil ruled the land, and our province was no exception. We were overrun by bandits and marauders, and the roads were no longer safe. The most terrible massacre happened at the stud farm in Neuhof, which was raided and torched, and all the horses slaughtered. My liege lord sent his men, led by Sir Robert of Talmberg, to track down the killers and to bring them to justice. I rode with them, but the investigation has been slow and difficult. Whenever I came across some trace of the bandits, someone erased it in the cruelest way imaginable. In the end, though, I got one step ahead of the enemy. I found out one of the bandits was still alive and hiding near Talmberg. But before I set out to track him down, I had to report to Sir Robert.
Faster! In a real fight, you'd be dead already.
Sir.
Ah, Henry. Carry on. Well, lad, have you made any progress with the investigation?
Yes, sir. I think I have at last.
So you've found someone who isn't gutted and nailed to a wall?
It wasn't easy, sir, but I believe I have. I have information about one of the bandits who did it. He's even hiding in a village nearby.
God's blood. It's true the darkest shade is beneath the candlestick. Who is he?
I only know that they call him Riki, and he's from here in Talmberg.
That's it?
You wouldn't believe how much effort it took me to find that out. But I think it's enough to go on.
But what if he's dead too?
I think we'd already know if he was. These fellows are not given to subtlety.
True enough. We haven't found any more mutilated corpses. Well, get on with it then. And when you find him, come and see me. Most likely I'll be in the encampment by Merhoed.
You can rely on me, sir. Farewell.
And be careful, Henry. I know what that rabble did to you. But remember with whom you're dealing. Don't start any foolhardiness on your own. Understood?
I'll try not to, sir.
Alright, there we go. After about a 10-minute long intro, we're finally in control of the game. So there's one thing I want to do before we start, and that is in the settings. I think it's in... I already forgot again. No, it's on the graphic settings. I want to go to show FPS on, just for the sake of information, basically. You will be surprised. I haven't had the chance to get my FPS any higher than 30, 32, 35-ish. But then again, it is an alpha. Oh, sorry, beta. Still a bit behind there. And it's not really that optimized, so you need a rather powerful PC, I guess, to run it. And just keep that in mind. My PC specs are in the description below, so if you're interested in that, they are listed there, and everything is more or less set to high. I think I'll show you the settings, because why the hell not? So the graphic settings are here on custom, because the advanced graphics is everything's on high, but I set motion blur to off, because I hate motion blur. I get sick when I have it on. So there we go. We are here in a little village in the northeast corner of this map that we have, and you gotta, well, almost northeast corner, and you gotta hand it to them. The map looks amazing. The clouds are basically representing the fog of war, and if you zoom in, you get this lovely hand-drawn map from the looks of it. If you zoom in once more, you get into a more regional map, and it's really gorgeous. You gotta say that. It's a very nice way of showing a map in a medieval game. You can zoom in just one more stage, and that's basically how you address things. So we are over there almost, and that's basically our starting point. So what do we know? Basically we know that Sigismund, the king of Hungary, kidnapped his half-brother to gain more influence and basically invaded Bohemia. That's today's Czech Republic, a part of today's Czech Republic. Please ignore the fences over there. That's because this area is not included in the beta and it's basically under construction. That's why you see these construction site fences here. You might see some traffic cones, maybe some under construction signs or some other silly road signs. That's just a joke. Keep that in mind. So, let's check our quest log by pressing J, and that's basically what we can or cannot do. So we have our inventory, the player, we have our horse, we have the quest log, the map, and crafting, which isn't implemented yet, I think. Okay, so we have the quest On Guard, which leads us to the military encampment near Mehoyet. If you have seen my alpha playthrough, you know that the military encampment near Mehoyet is not that small, and they have some capable fighters over there. But the quest marker shows us that it's over here. So Mehoyet is somewhere over here, and Samopesh, the other city that was available in the alpha, is down here with the 2 stars. Okay, so that's, now that we know geographically where we are, let's take a look at the actual quest that we have, which is called On the Scent. So the parish priest, Father Godwin, revealed to me that the Limpy Lubush told him in confession that a bandit known as Ricky, one of the gang that raided Neuhof, is to be found somewhere in Talmberg. That's the city we are in, or the village, basically. Unfortunately, he couldn't tell me any more. I'd better start asking around the village whether anyone knows this Ricky. So, what we have seen in the start, or in this little cutscene, this the stable near Neuhof was raided, and we're trying to look into it who did it. We investigate who did it, and we now found out that this guy Ricky was some of these bandits, and we gotta find him. That's it, because every bandit that we've found so far was dead and nailed to a wall. So that's basically not a very good clue to go on. So since we're in the village, I think I'll dismount, and the tooltip on the top right says if you can press X and just call the horse. Also, just slide along. That's basically what I was talking about. Just mounting, pressing X, and it was told me something about saddlebags, so I can store stuff in in the saddlebags. That's really nice. It's a good way to go about this. So our horse's stats: strength, agility, vitality, courage, charisma. Interesting that a horse has charisma, but it's nice. You gotta take care of your horsey. It's a valuable asset, to say the least. So, yeah, look at the water, please. Take a short look at the water because it's amazing. But we're trying to find this Riki guy, so let's talk to the first person we meet and let's see what he has to say. So tell me about
Listen,
Riki.
I'm looking for a fellow they call Riki. Do you know him?
Riki? You mean Hinek, the courier's son?
Yes, maybe. Do you know where I might find him?
He's not usually around here. Try asking at his home. But be warned, the old courier's as crabby as they come.
Alright, so let's ask him about anything else. Can you tell me more about Riki?
You know this Hinnek. Can you tell me something about him?
He's a bastard.
Oh yeah? In what way?
He's a scoundrel who keeps company with all sorts and gets up to devilry. Folk don't talk to him much.
Alright, so nobody likes this Hinnek. Fine. So, what about his father?
Can you tell me about the old courier?
The apple never falls far from the tree. Hinnek's a scoundrel, and his father's a grouchy old bastard.
That sounds amazing. Anyways, why is he called Riki anyway?
Why do they call Hinnek Riki, anyway?
Have you ever been in a tanning shop? If not, go there and you'll see for yourself. On the other hand, it might have something to do with his reputation, too.
Yeah, well, tanning is a smelly process. I've never been to a tanning shop, but I know that because it's emphasized everywhere. Alright, so how come he has such a bad reputation?
Why has he got such a bad name?
Most of the neighbours stay well clear of him, because he goes around with the wrong people. A dubious pack they are. I wouldn't wonder if they were thieves or even murderers.
That's a strong accusation, my friend. Thieves, it's bad. Murderers, whew, that's someone. Accuse somebody of murder and that's harsh. That's harsh. So let's see. Somebody must know this Riki, right? So
Don't tell me no one at all talks to him.
There's one bathhouse wench talks to him. A filthy harlot, of course. Who else?
And what's this harlot's name?
Adela, I think.
all right. So let's go find this Adela, right? So where is
Where's
the
the
baths?
bathhouse?
Right by the fish pond? You can't miss it. It's a big white tent in the courtyard. So basically right behind you then. Good. As you can see, this isn't voiced, nor do they have facial expressions for this. It's work in progress. Please keep this in mind. I have to say this a lot because I got comments on my alpha videos that the game is a bloody mess and it's completely, I don't know, bad. When I already said multiple times that it's an alpha version. Now it's a beta version. Still work in progress. Keep this in mind, please. I can't stress this enough. So let's ask him where the tanner is, because that's our other lead, basically.
Where does the tanner live?
At the very end of the village. Go downstream by the creek and it's the last house on the left. Bank. Sounds easy enough. Sounds easy enough. So let's end the dialogue then. It's very unpolite not to say goodbye or anything, but fine. I mean, he's as unpolite as we are. Just keep stacking your wood here. So let's see. Basically that's the bathhouses, and that's obviously a bathtub. That seems nice. Nice enough, as I would say. That seems interesting. That's not a lot of privacy, I would say. But then again, let's ask her. She looks like she's filling up a bathtub, so maybe she knows anything. So, you know anything about Riki?
I heard you've been seeing Hinnek the tanner.
So what? Come to preach to me, have you? That I'm a loose woman, a sinner? That I seduce decent men, huh?
So, I think we found Adela. Fine. No, nothing like that.
God, no, nothing like that. It's just that you're the only one in the village who sees Hinnek, so I came to ask you about him.
I've seen him often enough, but I don't know what I could tell you about him.
Maybe let's start where he is. That sounds like something that we need to know.
Where can I find a Hinnek?
I haven't seen him in the village for a few days. He must have run off to the woods again.
Does he do that often?
From time to time.
What the hell does he get up to there?
I don't know.
That sounds suspicious. To be honest, saying I'm a friend of Hinnek's when we just asked about who he actually is, that doesn't sound right to me, but let's see if she falls for
Look
it.
here. I'm a friend of Hinnek's and I really need to know where he is and what he's doing.
But I already told you I don't know where he is.
So I suppose he just goes to the woods to pick mushrooms, does he?
I really don't know what you want from me. So Hinnek is a bit odd, and sometimes he goes off into the woods.
Well, that sounds like he's collecting mushrooms. And eats them, but not the kind of edible ones, you know, the kind of like more psychedelic ones. Anyways, sounds like he's up to something, right? By the way, the persuasion failed. We picked the squire, so not like the most persuasive type.
He goes to the woods from time to time. That smells fishy.
What do you mean? There's no law against it, is there?
With all the footpads, pillagers, humans, and God knows what kind of vermin around, I'd say that's pretty suspicious.
But Hinnick certainly has nothing to do with those people.
Then what does he do there? I don't expect he's gathering mushrooms.
I really don't know what you want from me. So Hinnick is a bit odd, and sometimes he goes off into the woods.
Okay, that was just a different approach to the same old story. So maybe the diplomat would have been a better pick, but meh. I like swords.
When did you see him last?
A few days ago. He came to me late in the evening. Drunk.
That was unusual?
I never saw him drink much. He always came here sober.
So he was acting strange that evening?
He was strange. I had the feeling he was afraid of something. He kept on prattling and wasn't interested in, well, you know what. So I threw him out and I haven't seen him since.
He won't get on with it and you just throw him out. Oh, that seems good. Very nice of you. Let's just see what he said this evening.
Can you remember anything he said that evening?
Hard to say. He went on about some Jacob who died. Then he was regretting he ever got into it, but he never said what it was. And that it wasn't worth it for the money. Aye, and then he was talking about the money. That was very odd.
So, she said Jacob, right? Excuse me. She said Jacob, right? The subtitles read Lubush. I think I've heard that name before. I read that name before. Wasn't it in the quest log? Well, let's ask her about the money. If I have learned anything from any, TV show, you follow the money to find the criminal.
What did he say about the money?
Just that he had a pile of money hidden at home behind the house.
Uh-huh. What did you say to that?
What could I say? He was drunk. He kept saying I was a fine girl and other harlots wouldn't go with him even for money. And if I wanted, I could even take half the money and leave. Or he'd go with me and we could get married and such. Just poppycock.
Yeah, that sounds like a drunk guy. So, did you look for the money?
Did you go there for a look?
No, I have no time for such things. Obviously, he made it up. Where would a layabout like that get money?
Sure, I understand.
I think it's worth a look, though. Anyway, did he say where it's hidden?
Did he tell you exactly where he hid it?
He said he buried it at his dad's small holding in the western corner.
All right, thanks.
That seems easy enough. So, that seems like an odd question to ask, so let's do
Is
it.
it true?
What?
Other whores wouldn't go with him even for money?
The other bathhouse girls are honest, so I don't know. The truth is, I felt a bit sorry for him. Folk don't like him, and it's only because his old man is a grouch and a tanner.
That is interesting, but I heard something
I
different,
heard they
though.
don't like him because he keeps company with villains.
True enough, but they didn't like him before either. Or me. They're close-minded yokels. Both of us are sort of black sheep in the village.
There's nothing more between you?
No, nothing more. Maybe Hinnick thinks differently, but that's how it goes.
Well, fine enough. So we know about the money, and we know that Hinnick isn't really the most likable guy, it seems. Tanners, yeah, I think they had a rather bad reputation. So they weren't really the folk that everybody got along with. So yeah, basically they don't like Hinnick or her. Fine. But we now know what to do, basically, and I think it's rather obvious. So let's look at the quest again. Yeah, look at that. Lubush told him can I scroll up here? No, somewhat. Ah, there we go. The arrow keys work. So, on the scent. See, some limpy Lubush told him in confession that a bandit known as Riki. So, Lubosh is dead? Or maybe it's just a very common name, I don't really know. Anyways, I just wanted to look at my equipment because it looks really cool. What do we have? We have a shield, we have a bastard sword, we have a short sword. Oh, we have 2 swords. Wow, that's interesting. How much we must be very overburdened then. Oh, well, not even. But we have a white gambeson, we have some shoes, we have some hose, we have some hoods, a linen shirt. But it's weird. I mean, that's not a standard gambeson, huh? It looks like it has some mail laid to it or laced to it. I don't know, stitched on it. I don't care. By the way, you can't use third person or anything. It's a first person only game. So, with that being said, I think we know what we have to do. So, we have to find the bandit named Riki, because he is the only lead that we have to what happened at Neuhof. And that's what we're going to do in the next episode. We're going to, well, find the money and see where it leads us. So thanks for watching. If you did like it, then please consider pressing the like button. It helps me out a great deal, and I really do hope that I see you next time. So as always, auf Wiedersehen.